following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello, and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show, a Hoop Ball presentation. My name is Adrian Benjamins, and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani. And this episode of the Box Score Breakdown Show is brought to you by our sponsor, the Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. Neil, I am pretty excited. Tomorrow, I plan to pick myself up some coffee. We just ran out of coffee at our house. It's time to restock. I told my wife I'm going to get some of this Hawaiian Isles Kona coffee, and I'm pretty excited, man.
Hey, me too. I mentioned that there's a local store here, or a national store that has a location here in Chicago that I'm going to pick it up from. But it's also, what I found out, it's available on Amazon. So that might just be just as easy as me driving 2 miles, because there's like an Amazon everywhere. There's like the Amazon store pickup everywhere. So anyway,
yes.
That's another option to get the coffee. We're just going to keep harping on these guys because they're our first sponsor, and we're in love with them. I hope I like their coffee.
Yes.
I just really hope it's good.
Please support our sponsor. Go get some coffee. Go to HawaiianIsles.com. And as Neil just said, go to Amazon. And if you're in the States, I believe they're at Cost Plus World Market. That's where I'm going to head to. So go get you guys some coffee. And Neil, what else we got going on tonight? It's a really small slate. And unfortunately, I can only be here for one game because the other two games are a little later in the evening. I feel almost like we got the night off tonight, right? It's kind of crazy.
I feel like you have the night off tonight.
So let's dive right into it, man. Do you see any news and notes from your end? There's not really too much.
Yeah, well, one thing I want to bring up. Yesterday I talked about John Wall being out for personal reasons, and we were doing conspiracy theories. Turns out he just had a birth of his, I believe, daughter, birth of a child, and so that's why he was out. So clearly not a reason to pick up Thomas Satoransky like I did in one league. So hopefully he didn't make that mistake, who I will presumably drop unless something happens between now and the time we find out. Any other news and notes that you want to talk about?
I've got nothing, man. And like you, I also picked up Satoransky. It was in a league where I had dead weight to drop, and I was like, you know what? What if our conspiracy theory? What if we're on to something here? Like, just for the crazy chance that we were, like, why not drop dead weight, a guy that I wasn't gonna ever use anyways, just for the sake, like, for just in case we got lucky. And now we know it was a false alarm. So just like you, Neil, I'm gonna drop Satoransky for whoever's available next.
Yeah, conspiracy theories. Usually not true. Let's dive into another one. Middleton out for personal reasons tomorrow. Do you think he's going to be shipped off to China?
Okay, so
is that my conspiracy theory? Go ahead.
I got a little fuel to add to this conspiracy theory.
All right, let's see where you're going.
So he missed the last game, right? Mm-hmm. And he's going to miss the next game, correct?
Well, it looks that way. It says he is not listed on the personal. It's not in the injury report, so I don't know. He was a late scratch last night. We don't know what's going on with him.
Well, how about this for some fuel of the conspiracy fire?
Let's go.
2 games ago, when he did play,
yes,
he played very limited minutes in a close game. In fact, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Of course, my computer's freezing on me. He played very low minutes, Neil, in a close game. And then all of a sudden now he's ruled out 2 games in a row. What's going on there, man? That sounds a little fishy, if you ask me.
You want to make a prediction on what's going on?
I don't know. I mean, do you think he maybe got into it with the coach or the coaching staff or the front office, and they got him like, hey, don't come back, take some time type of a thing? I mean, what do you think? Like, if you had to take a wild guess, what would you think this could possibly be?
Yeah, let me first pull up what you're referring to. Against New York 2 games ago, it went to overtime. New York prevailed. Middleton played 18 minutes, only had 1 personal foul, and no injury to speak of. So very bizarre. Pat Connaughton played 36 minutes to give you some reference. off the
Neil.
bench. Yeah, so I am going to say that he is. I was going to make up a really bad story. Okay, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to be liable. Okay, I'll just say truthfully, what I think is going on is yes, I think it's some disciplinary issue, and I think they just want to handle it in house. That's what my guess is.
I am looking at Chris Middleton's game log, and he is automatic for 30 minutes every single night, except for on November 21st against Portland, where they blew Portland out by 43 points. He only played 23 minutes. Other than that, Neil, he is a lock for 30 minutes every night. You're telling me in an overtime game with the New York Knicks, where this game went down to the wire, they had him on the bench. He only played 18 minutes. As you said, he only had one foul. I agree with you, Neil. It makes a lot of sense that maybe this can be some kind of this can be them disciplining him for something. So maybe they told him, hey, stay away from the team. Don't return for this week or for a few games. I don't know, man. We're just kind of trying to make sense of this. We don't really know what's going on.
I know exactly what happened. I'm going to tell you.
Okay, what happened?
This is exactly what happened. Just like John Wall is being traded, this is what happened with Chris Middleton.
He's having a baby.
He's having a bit. No, something happened in that game where he got frustrated. He said something. They kept him on the bench. He did not come back in. He complained afterwards. He got disciplined. He did not play the next game. He complained some more, and he's now being. I think it's some sort of issue with the coaching staff.
Wow.
That is my working hypothesis, which will be proven to be false as soon as we get the real report. But that's what I'm going with for now.
Look at you guys. We are just snowballing here. We're just trying to make our best guess. So don't take this at face value. We don't actually know what's happening, but it is very odd that he played such low minutes in a very meaningful game, and now he's missed a few games. So I don't think this is anything serious. I think he's going to be back with the team soon. There's no fantasy moves to be made here. We're just trying to talk about some stuff due to the low slate night. Neil, one more.
Is that what we're trying to do here? Okay.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Hey, one more thing. Maybe conspiracy-ish type theory. What do you think of Hassan Whiteside? Supposedly, he left the bench before the game had ended. I think there was maybe under a minute left to go in this game. He left the bench. Coach Spo was not happy about it. So word came out that he had to use the bathroom. He had to go number 2. He didn't want to wait for the game to end, so he just left. What do you think about that? Is this some kind of crazy conspiracy theory? Is this nothing? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's nothing. I mean, he's been playing a lot of minutes, been playing well. Yeah, I think it's probably. I have no idea, but here's my conspiracy. My conspiracy theory is he had to go to the bathroom and he wanted to get the hell out of there at the same time. So he just uses that as an excuse, or he just wanted to get out of there. I know he's taking off next game for he has a birth of a child as well, and so he won't be there. So don't worry about that when he misses it. It has nothing to do with this issue. We'll see. I mean, I'm still thinking he might get traded at some point this year. The Miami Heat are not playing well. They're not on pace to make the playoffs in the East. He's been pretty good on the court, but at the same time, we know he has frustrations with that ownership and management and coaching staff. His history of that. So maybe they'll move him if they can. Maybe they'll move someone else. But I think there are changes coming to this team, but I don't think it's going to be as a result of what happened the other night. So.
All right, Neil, that's all I could come up with as far as news or notes or conspiracy theories go. And
do you want to share with the listeners how well you did last night in DFS?
Oh, I did awful, Neil. So I did the hoop ball challenge. The 50 people were in that hoop ball contest, and I think I finished 41 out of 50 people, Neil. I did awful, but I was telling you before this show started that the one thing I'm trying to tell myself that gives me a glimmer of hope is when I first jumped into that contest, I built a lineup that I think would have finished top 10. I had some guys in my original lineup that went off. Paul George, Bradley Beal. I had Kent Bazemore I had Julius Randle in my lineup. It would have been a pretty good lineup. And I ended up changing my lineup, Neil, about 2 or 3 times. And the lineup I ended up with just did awful. Neil, I had Brandon Ingram in my lineup. He went down in I think the first quarter with an ankle injury. He never returned to the game. It sounds like he might miss some time here as well. So Neil was not a good first shot on my DFS lineup, but I'm going to come back strong, man. I'm already looking forward to next week, and you better get in there this time.
Hey, Adrian, I believe in you. I know you can come back. Yes, I've been in it once. I did not fare as well as you, so take solace in there. I fared 9 places worse than you when I did it, and I tried to get in last night, but I did not try until about an hour before the game started, and by then it was full. So hopefully we're gonna expand this as well, and we can get more people, and we can get in there at the last minute, because I'm gonna figure out DFS by the end of the year, or at least to the point where I'm not clueless. How about that? I want to get to that point. Yeah.
It sounds like this contest will expand. I was listening to the Fantasy NBA Today show, and Dan was mentioning that I believe they're going to work on making this a larger contest. So this is something that's a lot of fun. It's going to grow. And hey, we need to follow our DFS expert, Mike Apotria. We need to be following this guy, Neil. As you said, we got a lot to learn from this guy. He finished 3rd place in the contest. I believe Brewski finished 10th, and Dan, I believe, finished 12th. So the Hoopball guys were bringing it in this DFS contest.
Yeah, Mike is really knowledgeable about this. I've talked to him once personally, and then I heard him on Dan's show the other day, and he just has so much knowledge. I can't even keep up with him. He has so much he's talking about very quickly. So I'm trying to learn from him. So we'll see if I do any better next week. Can't do any worse. Do you want to transition now to the first game of the night?
Let's do it, man. We only one game is finished right now. Do you want to lead us into it? I know I led last night.
I'll do it. New York 100, Boston 128. You can kind of see this blowout coming. On the New York side, let's see. Moutier is the one guy who's interesting here. Burke has been out with an injury. It looks like Ntilikina getting DNPs, coaches DNP. So this is really interesting if you need a point guard. Tonight, 34 minutes, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Does not shoot well, 5 of 15, but the free throw is falling. 5 of 5 tonight, 2 3-pointers and a steal. Their best fantasy asset this year, I think it's Enes Kanter, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 of 12 from the field and a block. Tim Hardaway Jr. has also been startable, 22 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Kind of hurts you in the field goal percentage. 7 of 19 tonight. Did go 2 of 2 from the line and had 6 3-pointers along with the steal. Noah Vonleh, a nice performance by him tonight. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 of 5 shooting, 2 steals, 3-pointer, 3 of 4 from the line, 4 of 5 from the field. Hazonia gets a start, but it's just been a big disappointment this year. 18 minutes, just 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 1 of 4 shooting. No steals, no blocks. Let's see. Off the bench, Kevin Knox got a nice usage here. 25 minutes, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 12 shooting, 2 3-pointers. Mitchell Robinson had a decent night in 21 minutes, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks on 3 of 4 shooting. Damian Dotson, someone who has been hot recently, and I had. Whenever you chase a guy, it usually doesn't work out, especially a bench player for the Knicks. Tonight, Damian Dotson, 20 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds on 2 of 11 shooting. I knew the shooting streak would cool off. I was hoping it wouldn't happen the time I picked him up. 0 for 6 from three-point land and a steal. Alonzo Trier, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Courtney Lee working his way back in the rotation. 10 minutes, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. No steals, no blocks. The only person I see here that's interesting is Moutier. Let me look at him over the last couple weeks. This is when it's really interesting. He's 89th over the last 2 weeks in the 8-cat league. I think he can be a top 100 player going forward. He's going to hurt you in field goal percent, but other than that, it's been okay. Rebounds, of course, for a shooting guard or for a point guard won't be great, but his free throw percent has been fine this year. He's 88% so far. He's taking 14 shots, so he's getting about 16.5 points, 1.5 3-pointers. I think he's a pickup for the short term and see where he goes if you need a point guard, especially if you're not doing well in your league and you can take a risk. I think if you're at the top of your league, I wouldn't drop anyone that's valuable. What are your thoughts on the Knicks?
One other guy that I'm taking a shot on, Neil, is Noah Vonleh. 8 out of the last 10 games, he's seen over 30 minutes. He's consistently starting, had a double-double tonight with the 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, had a 3 tonight. It's going to be a little up and down. It's going to be a rocky road, but I do like that it feels, as far as minutes and him starting, it feels pretty safe at this point. He's locked into that starting role and nice minutes. So I'm hoping he can improve as the season goes on. I've got him in a few leagues. I actually played him tonight in my home league, and I feel okay about it.
I was going to jump in real quickly. Yeah, I agree with you. He's 72nd in the 8-cat league over the last 2 weeks. I agree. I think he's worth a pickup as well, especially for the field goal percentage and rebounds and blocks. Okay, I will interrupt you again. Go ahead.
And you covered everything else, man. This team, I love that you picked up Dotson. He's been playing so good, and it's just so hard to trust anyone other than Hardaway and maybe Cantor and Vonleh. It's like so hard to trust anyone on this team because from night to night, Knox didn't have it tonight, but played 25 minutes and took 12 shots. So tomorrow night, it could be Knox that goes off and Trier that goes off. And it's just really hard to trust anyone on this team. And it's very disappointing. And all right, I'm going to jump over to the Celtics and got to start with Kyrie Irving. 22 points with 8 assists, 3 threes, shot 9 of 15 from the field, 1 and 2 from the line. He also added a block, which is beautiful. Marcus Morris, 10 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, 5 of 13 from the field. Not so great. 0 of 7 from downtown. So he didn't shoot good tonight, but I like that he saw 30 minutes and he got 13 shots. So I'm a little optimistic for him. And then Al Horford, beautiful game from him tonight. 19 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. He added 4 blocks, shot a very efficient 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 3 from the line. Beautiful game from Horford. Jason Tatum with 17 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 5 rebounds, 7-11 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown. Marcus Smart started, but he only saw 24 minutes for 4 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Off the bench, Gordon Hayward didn't really have it going tonight. In 25 minutes, he had 8 points with 4 assists, 6 rebounds. He did have 2 threes, which is nice, but it's okay. Jaylen Brown with 21 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Pretty good game from Jaylen Brown. Terry Rozier here, a spark off the bench with 11 points, 2 steals, a block, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 threes, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. Not too much else to talk about here, Neil. Baines went out on this one with, I believe it was an ankle injury, so he only saw 2 minutes. What are your thoughts on the Celtics? This is kind of a similar team when I was talking about the Knicks, how it's kind of hard to trust anyone except for the main guys because from night to night, different guys can step up. What do you think of the Celtics?
Yeah, when the season began, we were talking about who to draft from this team. We both thought Kyrie could return his value. Currently 13th on a per game basis in 8-cat, so he's right there. Everyone else has fallen short just because of all the talent they have on this team and how it gets spread around in terms of fantasy stats. Horford, though, 46 on an 8-game basis, on a per-game basis, an ACAT. So he's coming close to his draft value, I believe. Everyone else has kind of fallen short. I'm still trying to figure out if there's ever time to buy one of these guys or trade for one of them. I think they're all like solid NBA players, but fantasy-wise, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get the value that I'll have to trade for them. So, yeah, it's tough. I guess just keep watching and monitoring and see if anything else jumps out. Over the last 2 weeks, Tatum's kind of been hot, but I just don't think he's going to hold third, fourth round route value. I think it'll be more like fifth, sixth. So we'll see how it plays out. That's what I got from the Celtics. That's it, man. Your day's done. You had an easy work day.
Yes. Woohoo! I'm out of here, you guys. Thank you guys so much. We had a great week of fantasy action. This is awesome. I can't wait for the following week. And I guess I'm going to sign off, Neil. And Neil will be back for the final 2 games of the evening. You guys, hit me up at Twitter. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. And I also want to remind you guys, go get the Hoop Ball in-season premium membership. It's on sale right now for $14.99. A ton of great stuff in there. And it helps support Hoop Ball and all of the content, all the writers and podcasters, all of the great stuff we do over there at Hoop Ball. Go get the premium membership. And if you sign up at DraftKings, if you're a new user and you sign up at DraftKings with a $10 deposit, you get the premium membership for free, Neil. Like, is that a crazy deal or what, man?
Yeah, I think you may have to go through our link on the Hoop Ball website. I'm not sure how this all works. But if you have the content in front of you, you can read it. If not, I can read it at the end of the show. So
Neil is a much smarter guy than I. I thought you just sign up for DraftKings and they automatically know that you want the Hoop Ball and they just magically give it to you. No. Listen to Neil. He knows what he's talking about here. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for listening and for supporting the show. And I'll see you guys next week.
All right, on to the last game of the night. Actually, last 2 games of the night, excuse me. Phoenix, Portland, blowout as expected, 108-86. Portland with the win. Phoenix start with them. Still missing TJ Warren and Devin Booker and got blown out early in this game. So a lot of just random minutes. Start with the interesting news of the night. Rashawn Holmes got the start over DeAndre Ayton, but only played 21 minutes. I know there's a little buzz about maybe pick him up in case this turns into something, but did not materialize tonight at least. 21 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Did shoot 4 or 5 from the field. Did not block a shot, have a steal, 2 turnovers. The best line actually probably came from Josh Jackson. 14.7 rebounds, 3 assists on 6 of 14 shooting, 3 steals. Did have 5 turnovers, though. Trevor Ariza, very quiet night in 23 minutes, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. He is still holding on to 9 cat value at 98 on a per-game basis, and 8 cat value, he is at 99. There are discussions, or not discussions, there is chatter that he may at some point leave this team and go to a contender or at least a playoff team, and that would certainly hurt his value. I'm not sure you can trade him, but expect him to be around here or worse going forward is my expectations, as this team just gets blown out on a night-to-night basis, and he's not going to get. When that happens, his minutes just dissipate, and this team is just awful. And until Booker and Warren come back, which may not be too long, we're expecting them back in about a week, then maybe it'll stabilize. But right now, they're just getting crushed. So maybe not put them in your lineup right now if you're holding on to him. Mikal Bridges, someone I've picked up and taken a flyer on tonight. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, just 3 of 6 shooting. Did have a steal and a 3-pointer, so pretty pedestrian night line for the night. Elie Okobo ultimately fouled out. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist on 5 of 13 shooting, a steal, a block, and a 3-pointer, 2 turnovers. DeAndre Ayton did play 27 minutes, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists on 5 of 13 shooting, a steal and a block, 2 turnovers. D'Anthony Melton, guy who obviously last game, if you follow fantasy, knew had a line that attracted a lot of people tonight. Played 26 minutes, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 of 12 shooting, 2 steals. He kind of reminds me a little bit like Damian Dotson of the Knicks. May have a good night here and there, but I don't think he's worth owning. Maybe in the second half of the season if he moves into the starter's role. Let's see, not much else. Dragan Bender got 25 minutes. Troy Daniels played 22 minutes, and Jamal Crawford 19. The Suns are trash right now, unfortunately, and when that happens, a lot of these blowouts happen. So just wait till at least Booker's back before you put him in your lineup. Unless you're in a unlimited games, and I guess throw him in there and hope for the best. On the Portland side, this is the other side of the coin of a blowout. Some good lines, but it gets cut off short. Like Lillard tonight played 28 minutes, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 8 of 14 shooting, 6 of 7 from the line, 3 3-pointers and a steal and a block, 4 turnovers. So pretty good line, but got capped in the third quarter. Same with Nurkic, 9 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists. Did struggle from the line, 1 of 4. Had a steal and a block. Mo Harkless, someone I've been watching, cannot do enough with the other supportive guys out there like Turner. Healthy again. He just got 15 minutes, 6 points and a rebound. Aminu cooled off from his last game, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist on 3 of 5 shooting. No defensive stats. Seth Curry got the start for an absent CJ McCollum. Don't think it's anything that's going to be extended. Has a left ankle sprain. Expect him back next game or the game after at the latest. Seth Curry, not much in filler. 17 minutes, 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 block. Nick Stauskas got to see 28 minutes, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. I thought he might be a DFS starter, 1 steal, but I didn't know how it was going to play out. Jake Layman, certainly, I never thought this guy would be a DFS starter. 26 minutes tonight, though. 24 points, 7 rebounds. I think it's the most he's played in a long time. 2 steals. Zach Collins got 26 minutes, 10, 5, and 1 with a steal and a block. Evan Turner, he did not get many minutes either because of the blowout. 19 minutes, 8, 4, and 3 if you've been streaming him for fantasy purposes, and a steal. Gosh, I hate these blowouts. Not much to say here as well. Harkless can't be added. Aminu can't be added. Or he can be, but he's right on the cusp of being added. Stauskas, very deep league stuff. Zach Collins has faded since his hype in his performance early in the season. So not much else to say there. Going to Houston, Utah. I thought this would be a competitive game by the line of -2. Utah has been up and down this season. Tonight, even with Gobert getting ejected after just a couple minutes of play, picking up 2 fouls early apparently, and then showing his frustration and getting ejected because of that. Did not matter. They crushed the Rockets 118-91. Let's look at the Houston side tonight. Very underwhelming game from James Harden. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 15 shooting. 2 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks, 7 turnovers. Just a rough night. Chris Paul, very similar line. 12 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists on 5 of 11 shooting. No steals, no blocks, no 3-pointers. Clint Capella, 12 points, 10 rebounds. A steal and 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. James Ennis, PJ Tucker played 28, 18 respectively. They scored 2 points between the two of them. Had 1 assist between the two of them and had 1 steal between the two of them and no 3-pointers. These guys, as I've mentioned on here, just not worth owning. PJ Tucker clearly has the higher value in 8-cat, but it's a night like this that makes it too hard for me to own him. Off the bench, Gerald Green saw 25 minutes, 8, 5, and 0 with a steal and 2 3-pointers. Daniel House, 24 minutes, 7, 3, and 1. 3 or 4 from the line, no steals, a block, no 3-pointers. Eric Gordon has been a major disappointment this year. 163 on an per game on an 8-category basis. Tonight, just 10 points, 2 rebounds. I thought this might turn around for him this year. He's been someone who's usually a decent 3-and-D guy, getting 2 to 3 3-pointers a game. He's averaging 2.8 this year, so that's not bad. But he's down to 36% shooting and just not doing anything else. Under 2 assists, under just 0.6 steals, 0.5 blocks. He's getting the minutes. He's getting the shots, just not producing at all this year. And we'll see if this ever turns around. And maybe if someone gets hurt and that James Ennis ever falls out of favor, maybe he comes in and starts. Or if we see an injury to Chris Paul, we've seen that happen. And Eric Gordon kind of take over the scoring role a bit more and putting up close to like 20 points. But just really struggled this year. So nothing really to take away from this game. Again, it's a blowout, and most of these Houston guys are not worth owning. Utah, let's see what happened. I mentioned Gobert's ejection, 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist before that happened. They go perfect 1-for-1 from the field. Let's go to Donovan Mitchell. He really struggled tonight despite the blowout. 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists on 3 of 9 shooting, 2 steals. The best line of the night came from Joe Ingles. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, no blocks. Jay Crowder, 26 minutes, 12 points, 5 rebounds on 3 of 10 shooting. 5 of 5 on the line, though. Got the start, 2 steals and a block. Off the bench, I forgot Rubio here. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. So this is a decent line for him. And a steal. Had a 3-pointer, 2 of 2 from the line. Not a terrible night of shooting, 5 of 13 from the field. Favors played well off the bench, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 10 of 13 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Great to see that from him. Let's see where Favors has been. He's kind of in and out of the starting lineup, so he might be there on your waiver wire because of that. He's fallen down to 112 on a per-game basis in 8-category leagues. Over the last 2 weeks, he's 92. So he's been okay even when he hasn't started. So if he's out there and you need rebounds, blocks, field goal percentage, also helps you in turnover if you're a 9-cat lead, then he is someone to pick up. He's only really going to hurt you in free throw percentage. And tonight he was okay. Obviously he's going to hurt you in 3-pointers. He doesn't take those. But in terms of the main categories, it's going to be free throw percentage and assists. Tonight, 4 for 4, 62% of the year. Over the last 2 weeks, let's see if he's gotten any better. 71%, but you can probably assume he's like a 65% shooter from the line if you can salvage that on 2.8 attempts per game. Also off the bench, let's see. Royce O'Neal got 26 minutes, 7, 4, and 5 with 3 steals. Dante Exum got a lot of run here. 22 minutes, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists on 5 of 9 shooting. 3 3-pointers and 2 steals. I think if this guy ever got a lot of run, he could be a good fantasy asset, but that is a big if. He's currently 340th in the NBA. There aren't that many more players. Anyway, let's see. And that's really it to talk about. Again, blowout game, not much to talk about. Oh, Jay Crowder. I forgot about him because he has been interesting. He's getting the starter role sometime. Starter's minutes is the important thing. Tonight, 26 minutes, 12 points, 5 rebounds. I think he would have got more minutes if it was a close game. 2 steals and a block. Made all his free throws. I'm kind of like ambivalent about Jay Crowder. I think sometimes he's going to be an asset and sometimes he's not. I thought he could be a good 3-and-D guy. When he was in Boston, obviously, he was much... he might have been the steals leader of the season several years ago. Right now, he's just averaging 0.7 on the season, so that is not really where he helps you. Just the 3-pointers is where he's positive. 2 3-pointers a game. Everything else is negative. 41% shooting. So currently 156 on a per-game basis in 8-category leagues for the season. Let's look at his last 2 weeks to see if it's changed at all. He's 147. And the only positive category, again, is 3-pointers, and then barely positive in turnovers. So not worth owning, maybe worth keeping an eye on. We'll see if his stats set change at all going forward, but I would not count on it. All right, that should do it for the Box Score Breakdown edition, December 6th, 2018. Again, we are sponsored by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee, my new favorite coffee brand, although I have not tried them yet. I will be doing so at some point and let you know honestly what I think. Also, as Adrian had mentioned earlier, if you are interested in a premium membership, it is currently discounted to $15 for the rest of the season. I think that's accurate. I think it works out to like $3 a month, or thereabouts. Anyway, if you have any questions, any thoughts, any criticisms, any musings on life, feel free to tweet at me. I can be reached at ballwithneil, BALLWITHNEIL. And good luck with the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you Sunday night.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.